Today we are going to talk about modern superiority. When I say modern superiority, this is something that has become a new swagger and the new status symbol that sets you apart from everybody else in the world. Matlab, society mein generally, the way we function, we look at somebody as being superior in some way only when they are, for example, richer than someone, prettier than someone, more well connected than someone, smarter than someone, right? But right now we're in a place where modern superiority, this new hip thing that's going on, it has only one rule for you to be superior than somebody else. You just need to be good at making someone else feel bad, and boom, you're superior in a second. Welcome to the ugly truth. This is where we all are today. Bullying, harassing people, trolling somebody, discouraging each other, bad-mouthing each other, dissing one another, putting somebody down just for the heck of it. This is what makes you a star in 2020. हम लोग सालों से सुनते आ रहे हैं about this phenomenon, right? Bullying. But it's important to understand that just like everything else evolves and changes with the times, bullying also has evolved and changed with the times. I mean, currently हम लोग एक ऐसी जगह पे हैं that being mean to somebody is so convenient that you don't even need to be physically present there in that situation. You don't need to touch that person. You don't need to come face to face with that person. You can achieve the modern superiority by just using your phone, just using the internet, just using your two fingers, and this very commonly abused new term, freedom of speech. It's important for us to understand one thing before we move ahead. This video is not about actively hating somebody or firing you up against some sort of people because I have a problem with some people or nothing of that sort. But if you see yourself taking out the time and making some effort to actually go out of your way and express some of your feelings towards somebody which probably are going to hurt them, even though they have not harmed you or hurt you or anybody else in any way, then you, my friend, are a bully. Let that sink in. Now it can be anything, right? It can be internet trolling somebody, commenting on somebody's posts, actually having a fight with somebody for no rhyme or reason. There are millions of ways, right? I think it's time we delve a little deeper and we understand why all of this actually happens. Legitimate research tells us that people who engage in bullying behavior or behavior that is negative towards somebody in any way whatsoever, 99% of the time they have reasons, they have an underlying history, they have underlying experiences and traumas or problems that they might have gone through in the past or they are going through them currently, which actually make them into the person that they are right now. Validation is one really important thing that drives them. मुझे बस एक tick mark चाहिए कि yes, this is something that I did and this affected somebody in some way. Now, if somebody seeks validation in this way, this probably can mean a lot of things, but most importantly, it can mean that in their own personal life, they don't receive this kind of validation or any kind of validation. Number two can be attention. In my life, I don't get the kind of attention or the kind of affection or the kind of acknowledgement that I want from somebody or from anybody at all. If I don't get it at all, then I will seek out other avenues. I will look for other people from whom I can get attention. And then when it gets really frustrating for me, I just don't get any attention at all, and I'm human after all. After a point, it won't matter to me whether that attention is negative or positive. And this is kind of where one of the reasons where bullying can stem from. Another reason can be trauma. If sometime in my life in the past, ya fir currently, I've been through some experiences that have really put me down, that have really shattered me. They just want to take everything that they have inside them in the form of all that pent up anger, and they just want to direct it somewhere. उनको नहीं पता कि उनको कहाँ डायरेक्ट करना है, so probably they look at somebody who they think appears to be weaker than them in whatever way, whatever perception, that doesn't matter, and they direct all those energies there, and as a result that person suffers and this person suffers as well. Yet another thing, if somebody has been bullied in the past, if I have been bullied in the past, I will want some sort of revenge. So I will look for somebody who I think is weaker than me, and then I will in turn turn into a bully for that person. Anonymity is also a really, really important contributing factor when it comes to bullying, especially online. People who, you know the kind of people I'm talking about. I can be whoever I am not able to be in my real life, and I can be that on the internet, and behind all of these things I can hide behind all of these things easily, and I can say random shit to people. Low self-esteem. Surprisingly, if you have low self-esteem, you can translate it in various ways in order to make up for your low self-esteem. You inside probably do feel vulnerable and afraid and inferior and sad and all of those things, but sometimes you do not want people to know that you feel that way. तो उस चीज़ का gap fill करने के लिए what will I do? I will act the exact opposite way, and I will want to come out as somebody who's a really badass person, who's a bully, and everybody should be afraid of me, when inside I am the one who's afraid. A hardcore superiority complex or a hardcore inferiority complex. If somebody feels they're better than everybody else, they sometimes have this urge to aggressively assert that ki, dude, I am better than you, and I have all these witty comebacks, I have all these mean comments, I have all this stuff that I can play with my words and my vocabulary, and I can make you feel like shit because you deserve to feel that way because I am better than you. Or if I have a really inferiority complex, like a really strong one, I will make sure that nobody knows I have that inferiority complex, because if I'm feeling that way, I want everybody to feel that way, because why me? Why should I be the only one who feels shitty? People who indulge in trolling behavior online, they scored highest on noxious personality traits, sadistic traits, psychopathic traits, cognitive empathy. Now, I'm not trying to say here that all the internet trolls are psychopaths and they are sadists and all of that. No. Don't try to put people in boxes. That's the worst thing you can ever do. And even I don't do it despite all of the trolling that I go through. So when we say that they score higher on these traits, that means कि एक general population के comparison में, people who engage in trolling, they score comparatively higher on these traits, significantly higher, which is not healthy, as is pretty obvious, right? Another thing that is really important that we understand here is empathy. Now, people who indulge in trolling scored really high on cognitive empathy. When I say cognitive empathy, it means that, interestingly enough, they are aware of the feelings that that person who they are trolling is going through. They are aware of those feelings. They are aware of what they are putting them through. But this is where it gets interesting. They scored really low on affective empathy, which means the emotional aspect of empathy. This blew my mind when I read it, okay? I mean, they know what they are putting you through, but they cannot feel it. They are aware of the pain and suffering that unke do char shabdon se they can inflict on you, but they cannot feel it. They are in a complete emotional disconnect with what they can cause you to feel and the suffering that they inflict on you, despite being aware of it. All of this, listening to all this research and understanding bullying and their psyche on such a deeper level, it's really eye-opening, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it is. I'm sure it is, and I hope it is to you too. My intention is not to single out bullies and spew hate at them and, make them pay for their sins and all of that. Hell, I mean, there is so much inside them and they probably need help, right? I mean, we all go through shit and they've gone through shit and they have just turned into a not so great version of themselves and they probably need help. And it's really sad to me that because I have, I can't say I have been, because I am bullied in various ways on a very regular basis, I cannot find that objectivity within myself and within my heart to go out of my way and help them, because it's a very personal thing to me. I mean, trust me, even to come out and make this video, you have no idea. We need to figure out ways that we can build each other up, even if it is somebody filled with hate. Now, having said this, I also don't believe that just because you need to be loving and full of kindness towards yourself and everybody else, that does not mean that you need to sit back and take any kind of shit that people throw at you. Always remember, no one has the right to tell you what to do, what not to do, what to wear, what not to wear, what to post, what not to post, what to write, what to say, what to express. As long as you're not harming yourself and you're not harming anybody else, nobody has the right to come and step into this space of yours and tell you what is wrong or what is right, because you are the first owner of your life. You and only you. Me and only me. You can't do some stuff just because somebody told you that you'll look better doing this. You can't be a certain way, you can't lose weight, or you can't gain weight, or you can't change your hair color just because somebody said you will look better that way. Now that doesn't mean that I'm just gonna sit back and be like, screw everybody else. I love myself the way I am, even though it's killing me. For example, if you think you are unhealthy, if you think you need to lose weight or gain weight or change your hair color or stop smoking or do whatever the heck, do it because you think it is right and because it is the right thing to do. Stop doing something because you think it's the wrong thing to do. Of course, take advice from your friends, your family, people who actually matter. But don't let, just because somebody has suffered, oh, he's a bully, he's probably suffered so much, so come let me make myself into a doormat and you can come walk all over me. No, my friend, that's not the answer. That's not the answer to anything. Standing up for yourself is something that you owe to yourself. Now, since Untamed Talks is all about making things better and making our lives better for me, for you, for everybody else, like my previous video, I have a couple of tips which I hope we can all use and make our lives better. So here goes. How to not get jerked, which means how to deal with somebody who's bullying you. Yeah, let's move to the tips. Okay. Number 1, the scale. As soon as you see some harm coming your way, in the sense that somebody has said something to you, somebody has commented, or somebody has done something that has upset you and they're being mean to you, pull out the scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this person actually to you? You'll get your answer right there. What they did to you should be as important as they are to you. Pull out that scale, I'm sure it'll work. Number 2, try to avoid it. I know a lot of people say it, "Arey yaar, log to bolte rehte hain, avoid karo," and it's difficult, right? It's freaking difficult. I know it's really difficult because I deal with it myself a lot of times, but try to avoid it. Why? Because when they bullied you, when they were mean to you, you think they actually thought about it for a second after doing that? No, they didn't. They just did it for the heck of it. And hell, if they can't give you that much time and consideration to actually mean what they said, you don't need to give them that much time and consideration to actually think about what they said. Number 3, give yourself a reality check. Your opinion versus their opinion. Which is the one that matters most? There's your answer. You don't need anybody else to tell you anything about yourself unless it's somebody that matters to you, and unless you have given that person the right to suggest you some things in your life as a part of your life. So give yourself that reality check from time to time. Your opinion of anything you do or say is the only one that should matter. Number 4, engage them. Giving their conversation some encouragement and actually giving them a reply is the last option. But make it up in your mind that this is the first and the last time that I'm going to engage with this person. Give them an answer in a way that will make you feel better, will probably make them understand what they did wrong, and try to do it without stooping to their level. And that's the first and last time. Engage and we go out of there. Number 5, ask for help, whether it is legal or whether you need to make a cyber crime complaint, or you need to complain to somebody, or you want somebody's help making you feel better. Any kind of help. Today somebody can say something that's really abusive and scary, maybe tomorrow they can go ahead and do something that's really abusive and scary. And even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for somebody else that might be in danger. Number 6, this is my favorite. Kill with love. Okay, if you decide to engage that person, if you decide to reply or respond to that person, do it with so much love, so much affection, and so much genuine concern. I'm not saying that make it up, because when we spoke about human connections, we tried to understand how we are all the same, right? So even if that person is being a jerk to you, they're still human. And like we all said, they need help, probably. So kill them with love in the sense that express your concern, express your love, express some humanity, and let that be there. Let it go from there. One, because they don't usually come back after that, because they don't expect affection in return for meanness. It'll probably really help them, you know. And even if it doesn't help them, they wouldn't know what to say after that. And even if they do know what to say after that and they do say something, like we said, if you engage once, that's the last time. So you won't respond after that. Tips on how not to be a jerk. If you feel the need to be mean to somebody, or if you feel the need to troll somebody, make fun of somebody, bully somebody, here are some tips for you as well. Number 1, acceptance. सबसे पहले तो आंखें बंद करो और इस चीज़ को accept करो that hell, I am a bully. Think about what are the things that you want to say to this person. Why do you want to say these things to this person? Will it make them feel good about themselves? No, hell no. It's going to make them feel shitty. Will it make you look cooler? You think so. But no, you're going to look like a jerk. Accept it. Understand it. And really analyze that. Will you saying or doing this thing help anybody in any way? Are you really doing anything good for anybody? No, you're not. Once you have the capacity to accept this, that's half the battle won. Number 2, stop and think. Stop and think of the value that your message, your post, your sentence, your comment actually has. It has zero value. And try and go a little deeper and try and think, why would you want to do something like this? The answer is somewhere inside your brain or your heart or your memories. You've probably gone through something or are going through something which makes you feel like shit, and you probably want people to think of you as somebody who's really strong and brave and badass, but in reality you're afraid. Stop and think. You can be better than this. 3, change shoes. Thoda fast forward karo, step into their shoes, matlab put yourself in their place mentally and think what they will go through. Think about every single word, every single sentence, every single term, every single dot, comma, exclamation mark, question mark, quotes, everything that you will use, and think what that person will go through while reading them, while listening to that sentence, while reading your message or your comment. And if you still did it, you probably need help, and I just hope and pray that you can get help. Number 4, switch it up. Tone down the meanness by 0.5%. See if it feels okay. I mean, तुमने मजाक उड़ा लिया किसी का, but it wasn't as brutal. Maybe next time you can take it down to 1%. Maybe the next time you can take it down to 5%, and sooner than you know, you're not a jerk. Number 5, ask for help. If there's nobody, write it down. If you don't want to write it down, consult a therapist, a psychologist. Speak to this person or speak to yourself about, I have this urge of just, if I see something and I think it is stupid, I just want to say it. And I sometimes don't think I care about how that person will feel when they listen to me or they read my comments or post some messages. So is there something I can do to correct it? And help will come. I promise you it will come. Just ask for it. Okay guys, that was really heavy on me. Those of you who know, you know. If we decide to make modern superiority this new kind of status symbol, the new norm, then it will be it, like it has become. I mean, you just need to project yourself as being better than somebody. You don't even need to be better than somebody in order to be superior nowadays, which is sad as hell. And we've made it this way because everything that becomes a culture is made up of people. If there's no people, there's no culture, there's no norm. If we decide to make something else the modern superiority, maybe somebody who works more harder than me is superior than me, somebody who has more love to give is superior than me, somebody who has who is more spiritually evolved is better than me. There are so many criterions to make modern superiority not as shitty, right? So it's up to us, it's up to you and me, and I really hope this video helped. Until next time, I genuinely love you all and I mean it. Take care and stay safe.